the next part that we're going to model is the Automoblocks wheel. So we're going to use the circle and offset sketch tool. So we're going to apply some geometric constraints as well as some general dimensioning constraints for both size and location. We're going to create a new sketch that's 2D. We're going to project that geometry. We're going to use the trim and extend tool, create a circular pattern, and then of course we're going to be using the extrude tool for all of these. So lots going on as we create the Automoblocks wheel here. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start by creating a sketch again on the front plane. Now we're going to create some diameters here and offset our tools. So as I create a circle diameter, again, use the origin point. The only diameter that I'm given in the drawing is a diameter 440. Okay, 440 thousandths of an inch. So now let me zoom in on that. So, and then we're going to use the offset tool for the rest of them. So in the modify panel, here's my offset tool. So I'm going to select this diameter. We're going to move in. So we're going to move this to the other side here. And this is going to be 50 thousandths. So we're going to offset that by 50 thousandths of an inch. So make sure that we're coming in here, and notice it wants the minus, so let's go minus 0.05 50 thousandths. All right, we're going to use the modify tool again. So now we are taking this going the other way, and this is going to be offsetting this 350 thousandths. So notice how far zoomed out. I think I kind of put 350. So notice the difference. So make sure you're putting the right decimal point in there. So 0.35 instead of 350. So 0.35 diameter. So makes a difference. And then from this diameter, we are also going to offset that too. So let's kind of come back in here, use the offset tool, pick this up, select that, and you'll notice it is not liking what we're doing. So let's offset this. So as we continue to try to offset, apparently Fusion doesn't like you to offset too many off of the original that you had. So not a big deal. So if you think about it, all right, so this was the original diameter. Now we need to sit here and say, okay, if we're going to offset, if we offset this, so now we'll just say the 0.350 plus the 50 thousandths is going to be 0.4. So 400 thousandths of an inch. So sometimes these tools will only allow us to do certain things. Fusion obviously doesn't like you to offset off of multiple diameter to kind of keep building. I suppose there could be some error as it adds up with that. So it's kind of who knows the reason why they've got it in there, but we can figure this out on our own. Now, at the same time, while you're thinking about this, so if I want to ask you, if this is 440 thousandths diameter, then what would the diameter be here of this circle? And what would the diameter of this circle be? So stop and think about that. See if you can answer that question just based on the known fact here of what you're seeing. So and see if you can answer what those diameters of each of those circles will be. All right, once we've got this taken care of, so we are ready to offset these circles. So we're going to offset and create inner and outer walls on this. So let's go ahead and click Finish the Sketch. I'm going to go to my home view here, and we are going to offset both this diameter and that one. And we're going to go ahead and make these 570 thousandths, 0.570. So now I got two wheels out in space. So click OK. So you can kind of see. Now we know So in reality, this would never happen. So it's not possible for us to have these two rings perfectly centered each other. Something else has to hold those in, but of course in our modeling software we can kind of see that and be given that. So, but that is not actually going to exist in reality. All right, so we're now going to do and create a construction plane. So I'm going to offset this plane, and we're going to move this minus 50 thousandths back. So I've now created a new additional plane. So, and you can kind of see as we rotate around that that is up above it. Now, at the same time, I'm ready to create and sketch on this plane. Okay. Now, I don't need to do my geometry over again. I can use a project tool. So if you come right here in our create panel, we do have the project tool. So I'm going to project this geometry and this geometry. So to more or less pull that out. And we're going to also project that as well, and we'll hit OK. Now, notice when I do that, so I now have that sketch geometry on here. So we can go ahead now and let's extrude this back. We'll finish this sketch, and I'm going to do an extrusion. So I'm going to extrude this and this. And again, instead of my distance, I'm going to say to object, and I'm going to say I want to select to there. And this is going to be a join. So we want this to be a join as we move this back to this surface. So now for whatever reason it's not liking this, so let's hit cancel for a second. Let's kind of go back with our regular extrusion. So if we just kind of say, all right, I'm going to extrude this selection and that selection, and we're going to go that distance of 0.05 thousandths. In this case, I'm actually going to go a little deeper into this. So we're going to go back 0.07. We'll go 20 thousandths into that. So it doesn't like that either. So let's come back here, edit the feature. So let's see. It seemed to like the 50 thousandths. So we're getting some issues here. No target body found to cut or intersect. So what's going on here, as we try to join these, it's allowing us to, so we can kind of join that. But in reality, if you really stop to think about it, so if we're just kind of making this on the same point, so there's really not much of a connection between this outside part and this here. So this really wouldn't be that good of an idea to model that way. But we're going to keep it here for now, just so you can kind of see. We'll finish this out and kind of do some more on this as we get to know this, and maybe when I do the next part, you'll kind of understand what's going on. So at that point, I'm now drawing on this surface, and we want to basically draw a 1/2 inch circle, or a 1/2 inch arc. Now, the arc itself is going to fall on this point. So let's go and say, let's create a arc, and we're going to say a center point arc here. And notice it is letting me pick this as the center point. Now, the radius of this is going to be 0.25. So, and now it wants the start point. So my start point is going to be here. So let's kind of zoom in here. So, and it's going to go all the way around till it meets up over here. So there is my arc. Okay. Now I want to finish this sketch, and let's see if it will let me extrude that. I might need to go back in. It is giving me solid body here, but sometimes I might have to go back in and create another arc there. But right now I think this is going to let me extrude and cut this out. So let's go back to extrude. I'm going to select this, and we want this to be a cut. So let's go back the other way here as we cut this out. And we're just going to go to a distance of minus 0.05, 50 thousandths, and cut that out. Now here's what I'm talking about. So we've got this out. Now notice there's very little material connecting. Now if this were an actual part, this would pretty much break off right here because there's not enough material to join these two surfaces together. So we wouldn't really want to design something like that, but that's kind of what we're practicing, and this is kind of an idea here of how we're drawing this. All right, so I have that cut out. Now I'm going to use my tool, and in this case it's going to be my pattern tool for the circular pattern. Coming back here, so I can select bodies, faces, or features. In this case, I want this feature, so that's the object. I want the axis, so I'm going to select this as the axis. Now notice I want a full distribution, and I'm going to have 5 of these. So 5 around the 360-degree circle. Let's hit OK, and I have all of those cut out. So, and this is what this part looks like. So now we're going to go up and let's save this. So I can go File, Save. This is going to be saved as wheel hyphen your first initial followed by your last name. Make sure it's in the AutomoBlocks folder and click Save. So, and we are finished with this drawing now as well.